Yeah.
Come on, Ricardo.
We're
You grab me a pass,
we're just
too.
pretty faces, you know?
Yeah, we are.
Y'all can take that couch.
It ain't even pretty right now.
Yeah,
Oh, shut up.
Whoa,
What?
that is drama.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Where's Pat?
I don't know.
I left you the rest of my ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
You're not so annoying.
I like that.
Did you go up to her side?
What kind did you get?
I'll get it. I'll get it.
Just said, whatever her name is. I didn't see who. What's that girl?
Hello. Got a pull back one.
Good thing.
Alright,
Yeah.
side back.
If you just want to pull it up beside Mom,
Okay.
that's perfect.
Oh my word, thank you.
So this is, what's today's date? Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. This is year 48 that we talked about? Alright, sweet. So basically what we're going to do first is everybody's going to go around and give like a life update of what has happened in the last year. So just whatever you want, whatever you think
You're
of.
about to one up us so bad.
I was going to say, we'll start over here. So
Not me in the middle.
my life
My
update.
boyfriend got a plane crash.
You also, oh my God.
Sorry.
You can't repeat them. So my life update is going to be, I got a fiance. Her name is Miriam
So
Brantley.
you can't repeat it.
No, you can repeat about yours. Miriam's got to do a different one though.
I graduated.
There you go.
It's not your turn.
Somebody be like, I should have said me something.
What's yours?
I have to do one that's totally different than that.
Yeah, sure.
I met you.
Okay, perfect. We met this year. Millie, your turn.
Is this being recorded?
Are we
It's not
on-
being recorded yet, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Bro,
Oh,
we-
there you go.
And that's it.
Bro, I
I
thought
say
you were
my
going to say
name?
we started. I got to put my hat on.
Perfect.
You don't need to say your name. This is for our family, so
Oh,
everybody
I
will
also
know.
need
your name.
descriptions. Like, can I talk
No,
about
go ahead.
that?
What you got, Miller? What happened in the last year?
I graduated
Perfect. From?
Jacksonville University.
Perfect. You got one more year though. Go ahead, Kennedy.
I graduated from Clemson University and got engaged.
You don't have to look at the camera either, guys. We're just having a conversation. Go ahead. It's your turn.
I graduated from Anderson and I bought that.
Go ahead, Elena.
I went to college.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Eckerd College.
Eckerd College.
Go
Go ahead, Vera.
Go Trojans!
You started horses. I did horses for a year.
Dressage at Vote Riding Academy.
Ooh. Sounds fancy.
And what about your
I
travels?
became the mother of 4 college graduates.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Hook 'em up.
Alright, so last year we went to Japan, Paris, Norway, Denmark, Sweden. We're gonna go to Costa Rica. And what else did I miss?
Fripp Island.
Well, Fripp Island, of course. We always come here because we love Fripp Island.
And Charlotte
And Charlotte.
for Thanksgiving.
Grayson, quit touching my foot, bro.
I'm sorry. I did not realize that was a thing. My bad. I thought that was the wooden thing. Might be.
Alright, back.
I shot a gun.
Ooh,
Whoa.
nice.
Bingo.
More than one, right?
A
I like
machine
that.
gun. AK what?
Go ahead, Ella.
I eloped. Just kidding.
Nobody laughed. That was
That's
crazy.
it.
Oh my
I
god.
really
Very
I
like
did
this.
not.
His eyes got very big.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, I started my job 1 year ago today on this very date.
Whoa.
Wow.
And
Nice.
I got a boyfriend.
Nice.
A very handsome one.
Shout out Billy Hinman.
His name's William Winchester Howard, and he's very handsome and nice.
William Winchester. He's
Golly, is he
He's
a
handsome
prince?
and nice.
Can confirm.
That's a prince
He is
name.
not a
Yes,
character.
yeah.
He goes, but Billy.
But his name's Billy.
He goes
Yeah.
by Billy.
Yeah.
Shout out Billy.
Prince Winchester.
All right, Ricky.
Oh. I don't know.
You saw Echo in the Bunnyman.
I saw Echo in the Blayman.
With Rodney in absentia.
Okay. I have
That's
4
what it says,
kids.
graduations.
Where am I? I'm looking
And
at
2
that.
extra. You got 2 pluses. You got 2 plus kids.
I have 2
Staring at the
future daughter-in-laws. Awesome.
Nice.
I'm looking at my.
That's right,
All right, Grammy. You don't have to look at the camera.
Okay. I've been to Fripp Island twice this year. And I don't know of anything else that I've done that's all that important.
Well, you're about to get a new knee.
I'm gonna get a new knee, but I haven't yet.
That's a good one.
And I'm gonna have 2 grandsons to get married to beautiful, smart young women that I am so happy about.
All right, your turn, Pat. She might have stolen a couple of yours.
Haven't really done anything special this past year.
You got a gun that you wanted to have your whole life.
A what?
The gun that you wanted to buy your whole life.
Oh, I've got my wonderful wife bought me a Colt Python, the
See?
best
Hey.
revolver ever made.
There we go.
And Beck can't wait to shoot.
Yeah.
He's just
Overwhelmed with excitement.
That sounds sick.
All right, perfect. So, second thing that we're gonna do 3 things this whole time, so it'll be short. Second thing I want to do is I would like if Grammy and Pap you'll start and everybody chime in when you want to. Will you just tell the story about how we got to Fripp Island? Because I know there's a little bit of a story behind that. It's not like we just chose a beach.
Go ahead.
You better know.
Okay, we think about 1973, Pap and I came to Fripp Island with an asphalt convention with Satterfield Construction Company. And at that time, where we call the Sun Suites, that was actually a hotel. And that's where the convention was. And Pat really liked it. And so the summer of '76, when we were wanting to go to the beach, he was researching Fripp because we liked it so much. And we came the first time. Carolyn was almost 2 and Ricky was 12. And we've been here every year since.
We haven't missed a year.
No, Pap and I have not missed a year. I
Not
don't.
missed a year.
Ricky and Carolyn have because in college and then being in a band, they didn't come. But at some point they
We
started.
were in a band together.
They started coming back. And all my grandchildren, I could tell how old they were when they came for the first time. Like Grayson was 9 months old, 8 or 9 months old. Ella was 2 months old. Sullivan was 10 months old, and Miller was not quite 2 months old. And Elena would have been less than 2 maybe.
Yeah. We were looking back at pictures, and she came the summer before we got married.
The
so.
summer of 2006, like June, July. of
Okay,
2006.
and then Beck and Vera came the summer they were born. They were born in
They're
April,
They're about that big.
and they were still on the heart and lung monitors,
Yeah,
I
it
believe.
was 2011.
11, yeah.
And they were, we came in June, they were born in April, so
April.
May, they were like teeny tiny, and I was terrified.
And then 2 years later, Beck loved the word hey.
Woke us up every morning.
Yep.
Didn't they take
In
their
the good
first
house, I
steps here?
think.
Forgot about that.
Vera,
Hey!
yeah.
Hey!
Hey!
I
Hey!
think Vera, I think you're right. The good house, Vera took how many steps? Somebody counted.
It was on the Clemson map. There was a Clemson a football map that had like the yard lines on it, and Vera took her first few steps on that
How
map
about
that?
and walked.
Somebody counted.
First,
how
like,
many-
first steps like ever?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that
I was
either.
there.
Is that the same year Ella brought up the
Probably.
horseshoe crab that was dead and it
No,
stumped
and
up?
that
A
porch
mistake.
that
A simple
smelled
mistake.
really
It was a
awesome.
simple
You brought it in the house?
No,
No,
Ella
the
was
back
back there.
porch.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys, look what I
Yeah.
found.
Started-
Dad, she
started
found it, it
oozing.
just starts decaying.
Stuck up the
And I
whole
was like,
neighborhood.
it's
So
like,
you
we walk
guys-
out the next morning, we're like, it's inside, it's like,
It
That
made
was
the
in the
whole
good house?
island
It
smell.
was on like a Sunday that she did it too, so then it smelled the rest of the week.
Like the whole week.
Liddy. Okay, my bad. People make mistakes, yeah. She
It
thought
was
it was
like
cool.
it was like you broke the tail broke and it just
Started leaking.
oozed.
Yeah, I was
some
just
kind of-
walking up like this.
I know.
She was like, "Look what I found." We were like, "Ooh."
No, you guys were all like sick, and then it started rotting, and that's when everybody was not so stoked.
What year was the sand dollars?
I was about to say
The
something.
great
like
sand
that.
dollar heist
Wow.
of whatever year.
That was big.
That was crazy.
So we did
I
that,
remember
but,
being
but
out there.
BB and I did that for years.
Yeah,
Really?
so
We
for a
did not,
long
it wasn't
time,
illegal, I don't think.
Ricky and Daddy and I would go out, and they would go out above my head in the ocean, and they're like, "Oh, I can film with my feet," and so I would like climb down their legs and grab the sand dollar under their feet, and we didn't know at the time that we're killing an animal because we like kind of thought they were shells, not animals. So we would bring all these poor little sand dollars up and let them fry to their death in the sunlight. And yeah, we didn't know.
But it was that one year we were at one of the houses, and on the refrigerator it said $50 fine for every sand dollar you
I
fry.
want to say. I'm pretty sure it was $250 fine.
Might have been.
And we were all. I just remember being out there.
But-
I think we were at a condo when we had them all out.
We did.
I thought
We
it
had
was-
them all. You're right.
yeah.
We had them
I
all out on the
remember-
rail. We were like, oh,
Drying out.
Kept going up. We were like, how many can we get?
Well, that's
Clams.
clams.
We were like clamming. We went clamming.
Oh, yeah.
We
Me,
brought back
and-
a giant bucket of clams. Like we went out to the marsh, up to our
And Roddy
knees.
was like, we kept being like, can you cook them? Can you cook them? He was like, if you bring back like 50 clams
Yeah,
or something
we
like
brought,
that,
like a bucket and a
we'll,
half.
we'll
of
cook them. And
clams.
we're like, all right then.
And we found
Yeah.
out
The
it was
skulls.
not clamming season.
And you have to have a license, but unless you're under 16. So
Was that the same
It was
year
like
that we?
$200
They're like getting the
for
hood
like
rats
all
out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Was that the same year that we found like the black mud?
Yes,
And put it all over us.
Yeah.
And then a cop pulled
Yeah.
up and he was like, "Hey, is that good for you?" And
He was
we
like,
were
no, he's like, what are you guys doing? We're like, oh my gosh, sorry, are we not allowed to be here? Like, cause we're like knees deep in the marsh, covered in black stuff. And he's like, no, that's fine. I was just, is it like good for you guys? Like, you guys, it's like a mask? And we're like,
Self-care.
no, we just want to put it on us for no reason.
Where did y'all get these clams? What had done it?
Skull's Inlet.
Skull's Inlet. So
Mhm.
it wasn't really in the
Yeah.
marsh per
Wait,
se.
where was it at Skull Inlet?
the marsh,
literally,
the literal
like,
marsh.
So you know the
Marsh,
water's
yeah.
there, and when the tide goes out, the other side of the marsh.
Also, another family was doing it, but they were sending their 3-year-olds out there to do it, and we were like, what are they doing? Let's start.
Yeah.
And just driving
And
on.
the clams were incredible.
They're a little
But we
salty.
brought it back.
Did Rodney do it?
We brought them back, and Rodney was like,
Did
"No
Rodney
way."
cook them?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
don't remember that.
Yeah.
We were like, we brought back 50 clams.
And Rodney was actually mad.
Fire
at us.
up that
He
thing.
was
He was so mad.
I
What?
probably had a
He
steak.
probably didn't think
He
y'all
did.
really
He did not. That's why he said 50.
It was
and we
also
were like,
the
we're
worst storm. We had to leave early because it started storming, and we were driving back with these clams. And I remember
Bucket
it was
of
like a
clams.
movie heist or something. It was like slow motion. We're driving back, and there's
water
like
sloshing.
water sloshing everywhere, and then parts of palm trees like coming off in the wind, like hitting us, and then the
Get the
lightning.
clams
and we're like,
home.
let's go.
Alright, well, I got
Dude.
a story about that. So I was like 24 years old before, well, I don't know who was born then, but whatever.
I was alive.
We were at one of the houses down there, and it was the good house. And I'm sleeping by myself, and all of a sudden I realize there's a really big storm going on outside. And I go and I look out the window, and there's like cracks of lightning everywhere. And then this plastic chair on the deck slides off into the wind. I'm like, oh shit, I'm scared. So then when I knock on Grammy and Pap's door, I'm like, I'm scared. Can I come sleep with y'all? And I'm an adult.
I was
Like,
gonna say, you're 24 years
I'm
old.
24 years old, and Mom's like, I'll come sleep with you. And so Mom comes to the bed with me. But I mean, really, chairs are being thrown off the deck. It was crazy.
It's like when we was done
But it was fun.
yesterday.
Can I come sleep with y'all? So I just drink lots of wine.
24 years old.
24.
Somebody tell about when Roddy would take y'all out
Oh,
for the ghost crab.
crab.
with the little light.
Oh my
I
god.
was gonna say when we used to collect them and then all stand in a circle
Yeah.
and put a circle.
The
We
in
circle
drew a
of
sand
death.
circle around
We
it.
dumped the bucket of ghost crabs in the circle, and the last person to leave the circle
What?
would win.
We go get these. Yeah, we go out there.
That's
And
That's
insane.
awesome.
we
like
bought.
Fear Factor.
And it was
we
like
had
a.
like minor stuff.
They were literally like
No, because the
headlights.
first
And
time
they're
I did-
headlights and nets, and we're getting as many as we can, throwing them in a bucket. And they're like, some of them are like,
They're like
pretty
this,
big.
yeah.
And they would juke us out. Like, we were running.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what
we're
what happens
sprinting.
is that
Sand.
those things are fast.
Yeah,
Once
we
you
were
shine a light on
sprinting around the
them, they
beach.
like freeze for a second, and so then you can see them, and there's just two black eyes looking at you, and then you just start running at them. And like I just vividly remember Ella and Elena would be like, they run under your legs and everything.
And you
then
see
you were
one
jumping
person,
out trying not
you
to
see
hit.
one person running, and then you have to run to help them because it takes more than one, and so you're literally just shuffling like this, like trying to box out.
You
the-
also look like a crab.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
But yeah, the bucket part of the end was
It
wild.
was almost cultish. It
Yeah,
was
just
kind of like-
that is really weird. The sand circle last one really good ones.
He got my dad got stuck on his toe
Yeah.
once, and he was like, "Ow!" trying not to like freak us out, but his foot started bleeding and everything. He was like, "Oh guys, no, I'm okay." Like, don't
I
worry."
remember. Do you guys remember whenever we would like do the casting net and we catch those like big old crabs?
Okay, Dad's gotta tell a story
And
about
then
that.
one time we let one of them. We were like letting him go into the ocean. where we're all about to go swimming, and one of them crawled into like whenever those huge tide pools are out there, and one of them crawls under there, and so we're like, let's get him out. And so we're all sitting there with like nets trying to get him, and Rodney's like, he didn't go in there. And we're like, yes, he did, Rodney. Yes, he did. And he's like, no, he didn't. I know we're never gonna get him. And he's never gonna come out. And he's like, watch, I'm gonna walk through this puddle, and he's never gonna come out because there's like a rock too. He walks in, he gets in there, he's like, ah! And we're like, think he's joking. And we're like, ha 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 ha. And he's like, no, he just got me. And we're like, no, he didn't. And he comes out, foot gushing blood. We're like, you idiot! Like, who told you?
Okay, Chad, you got it. Just because we brought up the tide pool, you got to tell the story about when they drained it.
Yeah.
Can I real quick before he does that? Just quickly, can I say it? Remember we'd catch those fish and we'd just throw them
Chuck them
back?
off to the
Oh,
seagulls.
God.
We just
I was like murdering those fish.
We'd be like,
That, so I'd go out and throw that casting
Yeah.
down in that tide pool, and I'd come up and y'all would throw the fish to the seagulls.
Be like
Yeah.
you were coming to get snacks.
I mean,
It was
that was
like
the-
10
It was the
kids.
drive-through. It was like a Chick-fil-A drive-through.
We
They
were
were
out
just like,
there.
It was like
Up in
10
our
kids
heels,
under
it
10
was,
just
like,
like
hot.
murdering fish.
Chopping him up.
Didn't
My
there-
turn, my
didn't there
turn.
a little kid there that time that we
Saluda.
left?
Salute.
Where are you
Where you
from?
from?
Saluda.
So
Anyways, you are
years
from
years later, we heard.
We
well,
stopped
so
doing
you
it.
would go in there and you'd be waist deep.
We
I'd
and
be,
he would be
I'd
waist deep.
up to my thighs, but I'd throw and y'all'd be on the land. I'd come back with all the fish.
No, we'd be down in there sometimes.
Sometimes,
Okay.
but he was.
Because I remember being
Or we'd
freaked
be on
out.
like
in there.
logs around it.
But it formed like a pond,
Yeah.
basically.
But it's the mud.
And years later, we heard a big storm came through and it flooded. So they went in there. It flooded over that road that goes out between the condos and that house, and they were going to drain it, and they found 3 alligators in it.
Crazy.
Dad's out there with 10 kids under 10 years old.
Was it?
knee deep
Did
in
somebody
mud.
send you that story? And I
Bill
remember.
Durrell did.
Oh
I was like, I used to wade in that and throw a casting. I'd have been walking on water. A gator had touched my leg or something.
Pat wants to tell the story he remembers about the ghost crabs.
Oh no.
With y'all, okay?
I don't-
He
The
remembers
way
it.
I remember the ghost crab, we were on the deck of the good house, if I remember right. And I was looking out there, and all y'all had your little lights on, and you were standing there, and all of a sudden, all you girls were just screaming and jumping up and down, and just going crazy. Anyway, just hopping around. Anyway, got back and I said, "What's going on?" Well, it turns out Rodney had dumped them all right in front of the
That's probably more accurate.
yeah, that probably happened a lot of times out there.
It's incredible.
Menace. Speaking of Rodney, I remember the first time that Rodney came to the beach, and I was so scared of him because he was so hairy. I've never seen anyone that looked like that before. And it was time for everyone to leave, and everyone's saying goodbye, and I'm like hugging everybody, and I just remember standing like the opposite side of like, it was like an island, and I was standing on the opposite side as him, like, he's my last one, I gotta go hug him. I don't want to touch him.
It was one of the first times Rodney was at Fripp too that he filleted the whiting that Pat caught.
We were just talking about this.
I remember
It was
that.
a drum, wasn't
The drum, red drum.
Red drum.
Yeah, I remember that. 'Cause I was sitting there like, this is wild.
I remember he did another one out there. It was at this house, and he was doing it out there. And me, Miller, and Vera, and Meredith, I think, we were out there, and he's just scaling it right on the steps, and then he puts it down for a second to grab something, and it starts just flipping out, and we are like, what the world was in it? It was scary.
Pat, you should tell the story of that time that the fake story of whenever you caught the hammerhead shark.
Nobody ever believed me, but
That's Skull Inlet.
He
right?
told me it today.
Skull Inlet, I caught a hammerhead shark that was 46 inches long. And one person that saw me was a guy down there that was a maintenance man, and he had actually been to our place and something had gone wrong, and he helped me get him in. The reason I knew it was 46 inches long because I measured the rod, and then I got back and got a tape measure and measured how far up it was. Nobody believed me. But anyway, he wanted to take him home. He said shark steaks are great, so he took him home and
Oh my gosh.
cooked him on
But
the grill.
didn't he come by the condo?
He came by because I told him, I
To
said,
say
nobody's going to believe
he
I
did
caught a
catch
fish that was 46 inches long. or that long. I didn't know exactly how long, but he was a big shark. Well, I thought he was big. But he came by and said that. Of course, nobody believed me. They thought I paid him to do that.
Oh, we believed him. If anybody in the family lies, it is not him.
Jim caught a fish down
Unless
there.
he's playing poker.
Jim caught a fish down at Skull Inlet and spot like that. And there's been years that we've caught lots of fish. Not lately, but lately we get stingrays.
Yeah.
Remember whenever Sydney caught that like prehistoric looking stingray that was this
I was
big?
telling Vera about that today.
We were just talking about.
And same year, I caught that huge shark.
Stark.
Was that the one that would be in like when it used to be out on the beach? There used to be the whole tidal run.
Yes.
Yeah.
It ran all the
It
way
was
up and
almost
then
like a
would go
little
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, a bunch
like
of
a
things would be in
little,
there. But I remember
channel.
pulling that
Yeah.
thing in, and I thought, I was like, it's huge, it's huge, it's huge. And then I was like, it got off, or it was stuck on something, and I just thought it was something big because it started swimming at me, and I didn't know, and I was like, the line's slack, like I lost whatever it was, and all of a sudden I see a fin, and I was like, and I just took off from the beach, like reeling it while running in.
This is another random story, but do you remember? I don't know what house we were at. I was little, like young enough to remember, but do you remember when the guy? We're like sitting up here and looking down at the beach. And the guy was like fishing, and he was like up to his chest in the water, and we just saw from the house, we saw a fin just coming at
We
us.
were out on the beach, and I ran down
the
and hollered
dorsal
at him.
and the
I told Vera this story today too.
pectoral.
I ran down there and said, "Sir, there's a shark between you and the beach." And he looked at me and went,
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I ran out with you, and Grayson was like freaking out.
No.
Do y'all
I
remember when
remember
we
this.
used to go alligator hunting every single night?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
oh my
And
goodness.
do you remember the last night we ever did that? We were on the golf course, and the cops, like that female cop, came up to us and was like, "Hey, just want to let you know you can't actually do this." And Ricky was like, "Oh, like we do this every night. Like, we've been coming here for years. Like you don't know what you're talking about." And she was like, "No, like you can't do this." And we're like, "Oh, okay." So she like drives away, and Rick's
We
like
left.
driving away,
And
and
then
then he
she's-
goes to another part of the golf course.
"But that was right on the road, right near the,
and then she
right near the
follows us
playground."
again,
She followed us home.
and then she followed us all the way home. She's like, "You really cannot."
Oh,
be
she
here.
got out and
You
got
really
ill
can't
with
do
me.
that."
Well, so
I remember
said something I
that
shouldn't have
ill with
said.
you?
Dad
We
got
like
ill
made
back.
plans to capture Ella and hide in the bathroom if things got bad. We were scared.
I don't remember
I
that.
remember
Things
that.
got bad
I
with
didn't
Dad
know
and a
that you
female
used to get,
cop.
like super scared when they saw alligators, like, 'cause I didn't go.
I, would,
so
I
was
wouldn't leave the golf cart. I would
Oh,
say
yeah,
capture
you-
Grammy. I would not.
I had no idea you did that.
Yeah.
And then it was that alligator walk we did as a family on the golf course. We saw that 10-foot one
Yeah.
by like the
Big Al.
yeah big
I think that's
Al.
what his name was.
No, Big Al's the
Big Al's the dead one
Yeah.
with
It
the
was
skull.
like
He's the
he is
legend.
not
He's
dead.
so, yeah,
Yeah,
they have a
his
skull
is
in the
like
I can tell
dangerous.
about the alligator that jumped up on the.
But it was
Well,
after
so-
that that I
Big
became
fish
okay
in
with
Before
it.
you do that one, the funny ending to that story that you were just talking about, of, like with the lady cop or whatever. Me and Mom were coming back late from because I was at a basketball
They weren't
tournament.
here yet.
We weren't there yet, so we get to the front gate the next day,
Oh, that
And-
night, I think.
or that night or whatever, and we're pulling up, and you have to like show them the driver's license and tell them the
House number?
the house number, and Mom does that, and Mom goes, "Hey, my husband, like he called me and he just said that somebody was getting after him for going on the golf course, like looking for alligators like we always do. Do you know what's up with that?" And the lady goes, "Yeah, that was me."
Oh.
And Mom was like, "Oh." We just took it and took
That's
off.
hilarious.
She went as far as to say, "Where are you staying?" I was like, "I'm not telling you that."
And then she followed us home.
Because we weren't doing anything wrong. We were sitting on the road looking at gators right there by that par number 15.
Yeah.
We got pulled one time on a golf cart. We got pulled on a golf cart one time for playing music.
Yeah, we did.
Too loud.
One year they were going crazy.
I was gonna
Wait a
say.
minute, what was it though? Was it Adele?
Sully.
You would never get pulled for playing Adele.
What
It was
happened
too
to you?
loud.
Was
It was
it-
crazy.
Big record.
Was it Adele? Sully, tell the story.
Me and Grayson are just out late on the golf cart.
I don't even think it was late because I think it was bright outside.
Yeah, it was probably close. It was like evening time, but you didn't even do anything wrong.
I did nothing
I think
wrong.
you took it. You just turned quickly, and you were going fast. But Grayson turns and goes right by a truck that was a cop,
That's just sitting still.
and like he's sitting there with his window down. He's like, "Pull over."
Yeah, he just like
Grayson-
says it to us, and I'm
Yeah.
like, crap.
Grayson pulls over. He's like, as the dude's turning around to like come behind us. He walked up. He walked up and asked for your license.
Yeah.
and I swear, Grayson was shaking.
So my license was like sitting in one of the cup holders, and Sully said I was like
like
trying to grab it.
But you were like, you had probably just gotten your restricted.
Oh, it was like
you were
very,
like 16
very,
probably.
yes. But then, but the guy, like, he just pulled me over, and so I think you remember. I don't remember that, probably because I blacked out. But I was going for it, and you said that, like, the cop went, "Hey, it's all good." Like,
He
said,
said, "Hey, you're good, man."
and I grabbed it.
Learn anything from
Hey,
that
is that your
situation?
shooting hand?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I grabbed it and handed it to him, and he's like, "Okay, I just want to make sure you were like of age to drive," because that was like back when they
He
cracked
looked like
down.
a literal infant.
That was part of it. But they like had just cracked down on like you have to have a driver's license
Yeah,
to drive the golf
yeah.
cart on the island.
You also did not learn anything from that because you threw me out of the golf cart.
Oh,
one
yeah.
time.
Yep.
Literally
There
in the
are
middle of the
multiple
road.
stories,
He literally is like about to turn. He's like, I'm gonna turn. And
Well,
he's
we were
like,
turning. We
Weren't
were
you
coming
like
out.
tying
and
your
he,
shoe though?
I'm like sitting like this, tie my shoe, and Grayson's like, skirt, and I fly out of the golf cart into the
She,
middle
like,
of the road, and I was
tumbled-
like,
You did that to Beth.
I was about to say, but you
Yeah.
you chugged back.
It came back around.
Did you really?
no, okay, we were.
Wait. Finish this story because Ella like tuck and rolled out of the golf cart, and like Sully had fear in his voice. He went, "Stop!"
like freaked out. Are you okay?
And a man drove by and was like, "You good?" And I'm literally just like laying. in the
But
road.
you like
Oh,
got
that's
up.
ridiculous.
You got up laughing. Like you were fine.
Wait, what did y'all throw back?
So when we used to do that golf cart scavenger hunt,
Yeah.
they wanted to
intense.
come.
It was intense.
It's really intense, and we had
Yeah.
so we would go every year, twice a year, and we
kept losing.
We kept losing, and then we were like, it's the same thing it's the same thing every single year. They never change up the hints. So we'll know them before. We will map it out. We are going to drive to each location. I mean, like we have a map of where we're going to go each time to take all the pictures. We're not going in order, so then it can be most efficient for us to get back on time.
Yes.
And we're doing that, and we're flooring it places, and we get out to take a picture at a sign, and Beck gets back in, and I floor it, and Beck just
No. But the part of that story that's so good is that multiple times with it,
Beck,
we were like, Beck, make sure you hold on. Beck, make sure you hold on. Like any time we were doing something, and then he didn't hold on, and we didn't remind him.
and then Vera wouldn't get in a golf cart if I was driving for years.
Oh, when Grayson got his license.
Yeah, Vera
And
didn't
we're
like
like,
it.
okay, we're gonna go up there, Vera, and we said, wait, so if you were 15, Vera was, can everybody do that math?
What?
Wait,
How old are you right now, Vera?
She's 13.
She's
Nine
13. So
years.
she was 4.
Alright, whatever. Yeah, that's about right. And she's like, I'm not getting that, bro. Nope. Not getting that.
I think it got worse than that.
Oh, I remember her like
I don't want Grayson driving.
just raw angst on her face. It was.
Well, she wouldn't get in the golf cart. You actually was like, alright, I won't drive. Grammy, you drive. Because Vera was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not getting on that golf cart.
Whenever we used to drive at night, we'd like meet people.
What
and
story is she about to
Well,
tell?
so
I
a couple of those years, y'all went through 2 tanks of gas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Normally, you can't even do 1 in a
Yes.
week.
Because we would go
Y'all
out
were like,
all night and just drive around. And everybody,
But like, if you open the door right now, you will
You'll
hear
hear.
people
Yeah,
doing
it's
it.
not
They
like
still do that.
They still do it.
Yes, all the time. And so we would meet people, and they were like, "We've got off-roading spots," and we were like, "Let's go."
We've
And so they
never
took us to these off-roading spots.
To preface
to preface-
this happened like 6 years ago. We have not told a single soul this happened.
We've told. I feel like
I don't
Phoebe
even
knows.
know if Phoebe knows. The
I don't
only
even
people
know.
who
Guys,
know were
cut
the
the
people
tape.
who were
Yeah,
there.
cut it.
So we did not share
Classified.
this story. This did not
They took us on some like literally some like jumps.
The 3 of y'all and Meredith, or just
Yeah,
the 3 of
Look
you?
at
No,
Meredith and the
Meredith
Burns.
was there. Meredith was there.
And the
Oh,
Burns.
and Caroline Burns and Eddie Burns.
Just 2 volleyball.
And so we're like, all right, our turn. We're gonna go do it. And there's this one part where like you drive out into like this like sandy kind of marshy area, and you do these circles, then you come around.
It's like
and
a
go
donut,
back, whatever.
yeah.
And we're doing a donut. So I like go to do it. No, and we would like do it a couple times, then we would like drive off, drive out. And I was like, we did it a couple times, and I drove off to drive out, and then, I'm pretty sure it was Jack Whitmire and them. We're like here on vacation. It was people that knew Bradley.
Yeah.
And I saw them, and so I whipped it really hard, and I was like, "We're going back!" Skirt. Golf cart tips over.
Golf cart goes like this.
Oh, y'all told me about that.
Golf cart
I heard
literally
about
goes
this.
like this.
Wow, we
And we
like,
all of
and I
us stay
saw-
completely calm and just stick our foot out
And
and
I
slowly
and
lower
we're
it
like
down to
literally
the
like
ground.
lowering it down to the ground. And Meredith, I think jammed her toe.
to this day, still probably heard a broken toe from
Toe is
it.
still broken from that.
Wait a minute, but y'all laid it down.
We
and you had to
literally-
push it back up.
So, and then we're just like
People
sitting
stop.
there, and I'm like, oh my god. And then it's the Whitmires, and I'm like, you guys, what's handy here? Because you guys just watch what happened. And I don't think it was the Whitmires. It was somebody from Wade Hampton though.
But
So
they
y'all were
flipped it
tipping
back up
over
for
and y'all
us.
slow mode it to the.
We
ground.
literally did. We
As
literally all are like,
humanly
oh my
possible, we
god.
all just stuck our foot out and went.
It's the Flintstones.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, how did you get it back up?
We had the boys helped us get
Boys
it. They
literally-
were there. And we were
they
like,
came in
And
and
it
they
was
went like
fun.
this.
We
Boys
like
that were
dusted it
chasing
off
y'all.
a little
But that's
bit. We're like,
also
"All
why
right."
the golf cart was so dirty for so many years because we were just taking it off roading all the time. We'd be like, all right guys, let's go hit the jump.
Or it would rain and it would be puddles. We'd go to the puddles and Ella
Oh, we would go through puddles so
We would
hard.
find it. We would seek out the biggest puddles and find them and floor them. And there were a couple times that we almost got stuck in these puddles. Like, I mean, it's like up to like it's coming in on the top, like where my foot, and I'm like, oh my god, you guys,
Do
you
you remember
guys.
the time? One time, so every guy wanted Ella's number. That was the thing. Everyone would just chase
for
Ella.
obvious
Don't
reasons.
tell William Winchester.
Like it was bad.
No, like-
her little comeback was big. If you could spell my last name, you can get it. And so like she'd like get that. I wrote that discreetly. So you'd like
It was the Ella Reames
It was my
scavenger hunt.
Snapchat or something.
and it was like and it was backwards.
She was
And
using-
Oh, it was my
And you were
Instagram.
like,
I was
if
like,
I
you can
could-
spell this, you can get it Summerly. And then they would never,
Yeah, they'd
obviously
never get it. And so one
and there were
year-
guys on bikes
We're
that
coming-
would do it like, please.
Yeah,
And we were like,
we all bikes.
Summerly.
She put the brake on. They like zoom past her. But one time we are coming down here, and these guys are like hot on our trail. We are
Because what's happening from Mindy?
What would happen is that you're
Over
driving
and
this way and they pass you and then they would try and
turn
U-turn.
around.
Because they would see Ella and
So
they'd
they
be like,
get Ella and they see her and they came around. And a while ago at Skulls Inlet, there was rocks that would like, if you parked behind the rocks, you were like set and you couldn't really be seen. So these guys are behind us, but we were enough ahead of them that once we got around the curve of Skulls, we like booked it and we turned the golf cart off, got out of the golf cart and hid in the rocks. And we sat there for like 5 minutes and we could hear them on their little bikes in their golf cart going like, where'd they go? We can't find them. What? Wait, it's only one way. And we're sitting there, we're like, oh my gosh.
That was so
It was so
funny.
Like,
funny.
you
And
feel
then
like you're
we
like
turned around, we were
12-year-olds.
like, whoa.
Elena's like 12 at this point. She's like,
I was like 12. You were probably 13. You were no. It was funny.
Okay, Becky and Vera, when y'all start driving, y'all cannot drive.
I was gonna say, are y'all gonna go do this tonight?
Your cousin
Like,
Ella's
Vera,
gonna
the
cousin
weekend?
Ella's gonna drive
take
y'all
them-
around.
Yeah, we gotta take you guys out. Actually, we will.
it'd be like
We have to
every
see
year
if
we would get on the golf cart for the first time and see how fast it was going to be because we really wanted a fast golf
And
cart.
every year
and
it got
every year
slower.
was so slow.
Actually, wait.
One year
I have a
we got
confession.
one.
It would be like,
I have a
We
confession.
got a really fast one.
I don't know. I might have already shared this with everyone, but remember that year that I fell out of the golf cart?
the one that he told?
No, when I fell out and like came home and I have like this is a scar from it.
No.
Were you driving?
No, you were driving. It was me and you.
Me and you.
And, yep. And I was young enough that I was like sitting on the counter and having someone do surgery on my knee, like just like put a band-aid on it. But
Ooh, drama.
I
I don't remember this at
literally
all.
we had been talking about how the golf cart was so slow that you could walk faster than it. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. That would be really funny. And so Grammy's like driving and it's slow enough that I think I can walk because it's like we're in rocks.
Oh, no.
And I'm slow enough that I think I can probably walk. So I just took a step out of the golf cart.
I just bailed out.
He did, and hit it, and Grammy's like, oh my gosh. And I was like, I fell. I was so embarrassed because why would I try to walk next? Obviously, it's so slow, but it's going 10 miles an hour, and I'm going
Hey,
0.
she did graduate college.
With a master's degree.
But I
With a
came home and I
master's
felt
degree.
so bad. I was like, I'm taking this one to my grave, and obviously I didn't.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Wow,
understand.
you just said I'm gonna step. You
I literally
you
thought that
you
I
were
was like-
Bugs Bunny
I was like, this
stepping
is
out
gonna
of
be
the
so
house.
funny. I can literally walk faster than this golf cart because it's slow. Ha ha ha. One step.
I feel like sorry.
No, you
I feel like something similar happened to that because, and I feel like it was Grammy driving because we were too young, and Sully tried to convince me to high five a mailbox. And I got so close to doing it, and Grammy like literally started driving in the middle of the road because I was like, no, I'll do it, I can do it, I can do it. And Sully was like, do it, do it, do it.
We used to do that with people.
Oh yeah, high
We
five
used
people
to
going
Ashton
opposite
Griffin's
direction.
little brother. Whenever
Who?
they would go here, Ashton Griffin, she went to Malden, but her little brother would jump onto our golf cart. They'd pull up so close to us that he'd jump from his golf cart onto our golf cart, and we would be like, "What is going on?"
These
It was
are-
crazy.
All right, tell the alligator story when y'all were golfing, because that's a good one.
Ricky
Oh,
can tell
Pap's
that.
got it.
Ricky can tell it better than I can.
So Pap and I were playing with John Wall, their pastor who married me and Heather, and
Baptized.
and Carolyn and Rodney, and christened
Baptized all of us.
the Reames
We were
kids.
christened?
We're baptized.
Christened, baptized.
Isn't that Catholic?
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Baptized.
So we're playing golf over here at Ocean Creek, and it was number 8. We were on the tee box. It's a par 3, and we heard this big commotion. And all of a sudden, we can see this gator going across, and he comes out and onto the land in front of the green, and he's got this huge fish, and the fish, his tail's going, his head's going. We're like, what is going on? So we have to tee off. We hit over the gator. When we come back around, we played 9, 10, 11. Right there, we can see that gator eating that fish. He was flipping that thing up in the air. It was huge, though.
Oh my gosh.
It was like National Geographic.
Don't. I knew. I looked directly
We
at
were
you.
with Grammy at
Now I don't. Now I don't know what you're talking
Well,
about.
Grammy was there.
Go ahead.
By where like you go to
Pay for golf.
pay for golf.
Yeah.
There's that little pond and that little white bridge.
I thought it was Ella.
Maybe I don't know. I thought Grammy was there.
Anyways.
I'm not sure. And
Yes.
we're sitting there talking and like just looking at an alligator, and there's this little bird on this little branch right by the water, and the alligator
Baby
just comes
bird.
up and
Wait.
goes. And he was one like,
No. I thought it was a little nest.
No,
And it was,
no,
I thought it was a little nest,
There
and a
was-
little baby bird fell out, and it was like,
There were
and you could hear
yeah.
it inside the gator's mouth.
That's even worse.
There was a time where we would see them sit
now?
though under where all the nests are
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like wait for a baby bird to
Yeah.
fall. And there was the one time where we saw the gator going up in like the marsh and like grabbing things and eating them.
Oh, I
That was the
remember
death roll.
I remember that. That one was
The gator
crazy.
do the death roll.
Because it was like a frog in the side.
Yeah.
or something.
Yes.
It was spinning.
No,
What was he
not
spinning?
that time because these are
Because a gator,
he
whenever
was just biting
They,
little.
they
A gator
get
went
things
up-
and they do the death roll to kill
Yeah,
it,
they
and then
roll
they
it.
shove it up in their nests.
Or it's
Take
under a
tender
tree
Was
or
it a
anything
death roll?
alive.
We thought it was like a fish or a frog or something, but it was right at the big pond.
But
Whenever you
there's
turn
some
left.
scary big gators. I mean, when I say
They're
scary,
used to
But, like-
big gators on that course.
Yeah.
Really big. Like we've played recently where the one hole, it was
Prehistoric
right there, and
frozen.
you're like,
I got a video on my phone of that one. That was
huge.
wild.
Oh, was it Thanksgiving? Me, you,
Oh,
and
yeah, it
Alan,
was.
and RT, and Aaron.
Yeah, that thing was huge.
Before y'all did golf carts, I used to take Grammy's station wagon when there was the new golf course was not there, and it was just dirt roads and whatnot. And I would find I don't know if it was I guess I had a friend I don't even know, but we would go and boom 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 in all the different areas, and I remember getting stuck in the mud.
Oh,
You
and
off-roaded with
then-
Grammy's station wagon?
Huh?
You off-roaded with Grammy's station wagon?
I did.
I
And
don't
yeah.
think they had golf carts then, did
They may not have. And
just
I would
bikes.
hide my cigarettes over in the beach club underneath, kind of like where the Fripp ship is. There was like some stairs, and I'd hide them underneath those stairs. Well, I mean, whatever.
This is a little off topic, but I thought of it when we were talking about the gator eating the bird or whatever. Do you guys remember when Grammy took us to the nature center and we were all way too young and we saw them feed
On
that
Feeding Frenzy Day or Feeding Frenzy?
feeding day? We
Friday-
saw them
Friday?
feed a rat to a snake.
We saw
I don't think I
a rat
remember
to
that.
every
I
single.
know.
Yes, and I remember, I don't know how old I was, but I remember me being uncomfortable and then looking at like Miller and Elena and being like, I wonder what they think right
They
now.
would release a live snake or a live rat
yeah.
in there so they could it wouldn't get bored, I guess. And then one time it happened,
Or would
and it
just eat.
no, but like to
It's not
entertain
giving it a
the
deadline.
snake so it doesn't get bored.
Oh.
Because if it gets bored, then it won't eat.
It
Interesting.
stimulates
Um,
the real environment.
Yeah, and one time there was a snake that also had like a water section, and the mouse fell down in that. And so we were watching it like try and swim, and the snake just like was taking its time,
Just like
slowly, and we were all like, it's one of those like you can't look away, but you.
And then when y'all screamed and ran out.
We never screamed. We just sat
I
there.
just remember I was like,
It's like
I don't really
tears
want to
are
watch this
going
anymore.
Okay, but
I was
y'all
like, I'm
remember,
scared.
this is not for violent oriented, but Miller used to put on Animal Planet in the morning, and we'd literally see like cheetahs attacking deer, and I'd be trying to eat my
Probably.
breakfast cereal, and I'd be like, I don't want to. It's this or like basketball
I
though,
just
so I
remember Sports Center.
pick your poison.
Every
It was one of the
morning.
two of those every morning, depending on which one of you guys got downstairs first.
All right, any more Fripp stories?
That's it.
No.
Well, I can ask Beck if he remembers the first time we stayed in this house. he walked in and looked out here. Do you remember what you said back?
That's a lot of water.
That's a lot.
Wait, how old?
4 or 5, probably.
Yeah, he was a little kid.
That was a long
One thing I remember, Carolyn will remember this, I think. We were staying at the condos, and
Yeah.
for some reason it was like a big full moon. It was about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. We walked out on the beach. You remember, Carolyn?
Yeah, and all the iridescent algae was out.
Yeah, and it was so light. It was almost like, I don't say daylight, but it was just eerie that how light it was.
Yeah.
out
From the
there.
algae, like the
Well,
bioluminescent
I
stuff.
think that we saw iridescent algae, or maybe I'm not.
It's plankton.
Yeah.
Wait, the bioluminescent one
okay.
that turns like blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we saw that.
That's crazy.
I remember us, and I don't remember which house, maybe the chocolate house. We all lined up because I knew it was going to be a full moon, and we were watching to see where it would come up over the ocean.
It was a moonrise.
Yeah, to see the moon rise. I knew what time it was supposed to rise, and watching. But once it starts up, you can see it's getting light, so you would know. That was always thrilling to me to see the moon come up over the ocean.
Yeah.
really cool.
Because that's not something you normally see.
Hey Pat, do you remember? I'm too young to remember where we were, but do you remember us going onto that pier, that
Oh,
dock,
yes.
or whatever it was?
I
Will you
remember-
tell that? 'Cause
Remember it well.
Across from
I don't know where we were.
It was right behind the beach club, right where y'all playing pickleball. The beach,
Yes.
it
Yeah.
was over on the canal, the beach club villas. There's a little pier
Crabby
out
Lodge?
to the back.
This might have been BB's wedding. Y'all walked over.
Okay, that was something else that I figured we left off that
Don't
we
you
didn't
think?
talk about. Yeah, continue.
Well, there's probably a lot of things I left off a lot of things on purpose. Yeah, we were walking up there. You were a little kid. I don't know
Yeah,
how old
young.
you were. And all of a sudden and this is way down there in the middle of the island. And Sullivan said, "Hey Pat, look over there. There's a great, what was he, 6, 8 feet long? Alligator?"
I was gonna say like 10.
But you were young.
I was a kid.
That was just the proportion
But
where I
he
was.
was
You were
big.
smaller.
He was a big gator.
And he was probably 10 feet from us. I mean,
Yeah, he was right down there.
He was
I mean, he
right
was as
there.
far from here as that counter from
Yeah.
us.
But y'all were standing up
we were a
above.
little
We were a little
above him, but
above,
yeah, he
but
was
now-
right there.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
And he was swimming up the canal, right?
No,
he
that was a
on
different
the
one.
land.
Oh, okay.
That was a different one.
Oh,
we
that
were
was
we
weird.
drove over
Yeah.
the bridge one time
That's
and
what
just
I was thinking.
turned,
I saw
and there was
that.
one swimming up the canal,
And we were
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
which is that was where I've never thought that they could be in salt water,
Yeah.
and then I was like, oh my goodness,
Guess they can.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Right, so who's taking Beck and Vera on a off-roading golf cart?
we're down.
Well,
That was
now
the
the
I
golf
think
cart
Ella's
will turn off.
driving.
Yeah, that won't be.
Alright, well, there are other places to go.
Oh yeah, we can still just go out.
Oh,
There's
we'll go
people
out.
everywhere.
Beck and Vera, where do y'all have your cigarettes hidden?
I can't disclose that information.
Cheryl, you ought to tell about your wedding. You got married here in
That's right.
Yeah.
07.
Yeah, but I mean, no, it's not.
Talk about
anything.
what you told me, like how.
Oh, about how
my
we all
mom
wore
did to the
white?
kids.
For your wedding?
Also, we all wore white to your wedding.
I've apologized.
Yeah, it was fine.
No, that was
You
crazy.
asked me, and I was like, yeah, it's
But
cool.
I asked.
Why would you ask if we could wear white on?
I haven't worn a sweater on, but
Well, she asked, she's like, do you care if we all wear white? I'm like,
Crazy
yeah,
question.
Fine, I don't care. And then y'all were getting bug bites or something, and so Heather gave y'all Benadryl. So all, like, if you look at my wedding album, all 4 of y'all are like,
And it sounds like mom's just trying to sabotage BB's. Everybody wear white and pass out.
Are we on the front
Drug
row?
you all.
Hey, but y'all woke up
Yeah,
for the reception
you're on the
because
front
y'all were
row.
all dancing around.
So
and
okay.
Miller, I really remember your face because you're like,
That's the Miller tired.
So-
She still looks
By
like
God,
that.
y'all were itching.
Was it the reception or the rehearsal dinner that we did at the Chocolate House where you played music?
that was the
rehearsal dinner.
Rehearsal dinner. Okay. I
There was
remember.
no rehearsal, y'all.
All right, Mom, I have a good story for
There's
you.
no attendance. You do not need a rehearsal.
Okay, Mom, here's a good story for you. At our wedding, so Rodney and I decided, we had a DJ, and we did not want I did not want the DJ to have any license into what there was going to be played. So Rodney and I, back we were living in the condo. Okay, we weren't living together. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We were in the condo, and we were drinking wine and burning CDs of what we wanted the DJ to play. And so we had all these different songs, and all were like, you know, whatever. So the last song was Bossa Nova, I think that's the name of the band, is a jazzy sort of band that takes other songs that might be punk rock or heavy metal or whatever, and they, you know, sing it like lounge, like do 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 do. So the very last song of our reception was the Bossa Nova version of a Dead Kennedy song, which is a punk band that was called Too Drunk to Fuck. And that was the very last song that we had at our reception. And
Beat that.
but you would never know that's what they were saying because it was just like too drunk to fuck. Like very soft and like lounge music and whatever. And Mom, you were dancing. And Brody and I were both like it wasn't, we didn't design that to
set me up.
right, no, that was not the intention, but you know, it's wedding night, whatever, and we thought that was kind of an appropriate song.
Oh
And
my
so
goodness.
that was the last dance at our wedding.
That's so funny.
Cut.
Well, okay, last thing. So that was number 2, and we kind of like did number 3 in there, but just we'll go back through it really fast. Best or favorite memory at Fripp. Everybody's got to do it. So we'll start.
I'll start.
You can repeat what was just said. You can pick one. Go ahead, Sully.
We got this.
Before we became golf addicts, we used to only play golf at Fripp once a year.
Oh, I know what this one is.
And on number 18, I hit a driver, and then I topped my 3-wood, and then I topped it again, and then I was behind this hill, couldn't see the green, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but I just hit the ball, hit it really good. I remember looking down at me like, I hit that good. And then we couldn't find my ball, looking all around the green for it. Walked up and looked in the hole, and there it was.
I thought you were gonna tell the sandpit story when.
Oh,
like,
wait. That's my favorite one by far.
Crap.
I gotta call that one. So rules of golf. You cannot, if you're in a sand trap, you cannot put your club on the ground. It can't touch the sand until when you hit the ball. So that's just like general rules of golf. We're playing me, Dad, Pap, Sully,
Grammy's
but then
there.
Grammy
Grammy's
and Ella
follow
came
us.
up on another golf cart just like to watch. And we're on 18, the same hole. And Sully is in the bunker, and so he's lining up for a bunker shot. And Dad just tells him, he's like, hey, don't forget you can't let your club touch the ground until you hit it. And it's called grounding your club. So Dad goes, don't forget you can't ground your club. And Sully's like, yeah, I got it, I know. Sully like goes, sets up for a practice swing, backswing, swings through, all sand. And we're just like, me and Dad kind of look at each other like, what did he just do? And then Sully does it again. Practice swing straight through. And Dad just kind of goes, dude, you can't touch the ground with your club until you swing. And Sully's like, what are you talking about? I didn't. And he's just like adamant that he didn't. And so they start like going at it, like just annoyed with each other.
Sully's like freaking out.
Well, they were just like annoyed with each other because Sully understood it as
Sully's like, I'm not.
when like as you're about to hit the ball, you can't do it, not on a practice swing. And they start going at each other. I'm just like, I like realized what was happening, and I was like, okay, this is what actually happened. And Sully's like, ah. And then just goes and like hits it and swings through. And I think you hit a really good shot, but got back in the cart like so annoyed. And it was just so funny that we're just sitting there. Dad's like, hey, you can't touch the ground. Poof. It's all sand.
No, you can't touch the ground. You can't touch the ground.
That was wild. All right, me and Sully are out of the way. Somebody else go.
My favorite was my funeral.
Tell that story.
I won your funeral.
So
not your
basically,
I had no clue for a second.
I decided to move.
That's what
I was
she
going to
did.
school in California.
What she went to say.
I was like committed, and granted, we had like the best summer of our lives. Like we went on like the Disney cruise to Alaska. Like we were just hanging out all summer, and for some reason, everyone thought I was gonna go to California, and they were never gonna see me ever again. And so they set up this night for me. So sweet.
Like this.
It's so sweet. It was
Kinda
literally
like
like
this.
this.
Kinda like this.
We're all sitting here, and I was sitting on a chair. If everyone's sitting like this, was it here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on a chair right there in front of everybody. And we're going in the room, and like everyone's like saying their favorite memories with me, and like what would happen at a funeral? Everyone says like their favorite stories with you, and like Everyone's bawling.
I
crying.
remember when Ella was.
We sang
Dad sang a song and that he like
Elena sang
Elena sang
You did. I
Umbrella.
played with you
Yes.
saying Umbrella.
By
It was
Beyonce.
insane, and I was just sitting there, and we're all just like bawling, crying, and I was like, "Let's never do this, never."
But
again."
like all of the Torres-Mabe were going to see Ella the same exact amount of time that they normally saw her. Like they were never
Oh,
gonna see her.
and everyone's
otherwise.
bawling, crying.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss you so
And
much.
Jill
I'm
was
like,
here too.
Because your mom looked up a
Your mom
quote
was here.
and read it off. It was like a Socrates quote or
Yeah.
something.
And I was like, and I think I've seen her one time since then. And I think I also had met her one time before then.
And we never did that again.
For anyone else.
No more.
That's
Well,
why
it's
Ella
fine.
is Grammy's favorite.
I
guys
thought
did
it was a
it.
good idea. She's going so far away, and I have those ideas. But after that,
It was so sweet. It was literally a funeral though, and it was like, Grayson had already gone to college. I'm gonna see her as the same
Well,
amount.
to be
and I
fair,
came home all the
he
time.
was
I went to
35
college
seconds
22
away.
minutes away
Yeah.
from Graham-Pav's house.
But it would be the same as if I went to college. I came home the same. I came home for fall break. I came home for Thanksgiving. I came home for winter break. I came home at spring break. I came home for summers. Like,
It was so good. At least you got to hear your funeral, you know?
yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it'll sound like.
Yeah.
I've already been through it once.
All right, next one. Whoever wants to go.
Well, I got married here, so.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
gonna- Yep. Hard to beat that one.
My-
Can you? Oh, go ahead.
My favorite memory is the surprise birthday party y'all had for me. Whenever we were in the condos.
I think you were 8.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
I think you were 8.
But it was whenever we were staying in the condos,
I
and
remember.
it was like the girls had the upstairs room, and all I remember, I don't remember much from it, but I just remember Sully like locked me out of the house, or like we were coming back in, and Sully like ran inside and locked the door, and I was so mad. But he was like trying to get everything set up, like he was trying to get everyone ready. So I was like banging on the door, and I was like, Sully, like this isn't funny. I think I had to come out around to the front, and I walked in, and everyone was like, surprise, and it was so cute. That's so fun.
I forgot about that.
I don't know if it's my favorite ever, but it's like the only one I can think of at the
Go for
moment. But there was a good summer, a whole week that Ella had convinced me that every single morning she'd change the color of her braces bands, and I'd come down to dinner every single night. And there's no way they actually changed, but she would just, I guess, gaslight me into thinking the color was changed. She'd be sitting at dinner and she'd be like,
Why would
"Are
you believe that?
Like, are you crazy? They were literally white yesterday, Elena, and like today they're pink. Are you not? Like, are you sure?" And I was like, yeah, I think. And it was always at that circle table at the shelf
That
of
is
the
so
house.
funny.
And I mean, I believed it. And you also did that goat. Remember? Can you do that llama chin?
We just had to do
That
it.
was that summer. It was that summer.
That's so
It was
funny.
the llama
Do it
chin
for
and the
camera.
braces colors. I was convinced.
Oh my god.
Oops.
Favorite memory.
That's what I said.
Favorite
I don't know
memory
if
is
it's my
Elena getting
favorite.
gaslit. A
Meg's
gaslighter and a
favorite
thing that's a
memory
favorite
is
memory.
going to bed tonight.
Wow.
Meg's favorite memory is
Tired.
pickleball today.
There you go.
What about Heather?
Or poker.
I'm not a good. I can't just pull a memory, but I mean, there's.
So many.
I remember going early on, walking with Diane. Was I walking with Diane and the sonic boom happened?
Oh yeah.
What's
we
a
went to
sonic
see the
boom?
Gators.
Came bowed itself up out of the.
That's the first time we
Wait,
took
what?
them to see
Yeah.
Gators.
Wait,
Can you
what
tell that
happened?
story?
Yeah.
Will you like explain the story?
I,
This sounds crazy.
Yeah.
you know, I have a foggy memory.
Yeah.
But I think I was walking with Diane and
Me and
you-
Diane.
It was all of us.
Us 4.
Us
Yeah.
four.
and maybe a jet flew by. That's where the sonic boom would come.
It just
from.
went
I
supersonic,
remember
like
this.
close to the island.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then
we
I
were
don't
on
know
the
that
other
we even
golf
saw
course.
the jet, but we heard.
We were
it.
on the other golf course. I knew where the Gators were, and
Yeah,
we
he was
walked
taking
out.
me and Diane to
They'd
we had
never
never seen a
seen 'em.
gator.
And it
Which is crazy,
boomed,
too.
and
That's
like
crazy
two
that
of them
you've never
came out of the
seen a gator.
water. Like we knew we could see them, but they like kind of roared. It was
Yeah,
weird.
it's
Kinda
just
bowed
they
up
just
about-
came
Animals?
up.
After the
noises?
sonic boom happened.
Yes, yes.
Whoa.
They came out and made noises.
I
Yeah.
just remember one.
It-
Were there multiple?
There was two in that one little lagoon we were looking at.
That's crazy.
That's
I also
Right.
remember going. We used to go into Beaufort and go to Plums and the
Yeah.
Chocolate Tree.
Yeah.
We don't do it anymore,
Yeah.
but that was a
You
long
know,
time
I quit doing that when I had grandchildren. I didn't want to.
ago. Leave
I didn't want to go have lunch with the ladies. I want to stay home and play with the kids.
I was telling coming in. I was telling Sully and Kennedy were in the car with us. I said, "Hey, we're in Beaufort, and I used to because you didn't have a smartphone or a laptop. We would drive in. Me and Heather and BB, they would go shopping, and I would go to the Buford Library, check my email.
Oh my gosh, that's
For work.
amazing.
Yeah. Didn't you have to go to the elementary school?
I went to St. Helena's
Yeah.
Elementary School too.
And one time they did that, and they took Sullivan. He was about 2, and when they came back on the island, Pat was driving the golf cart, and I was on the back of the golf cart, and Grayson and Ella were here, and they had both fallen asleep, and I was holding their heads up so they wouldn't fall out of the golf cart.
There's a picture.
There's an
Yeah.
awesome
Yeah.
picture that Sully's standing there pointing at him like
Yeah.
he's like 2 going.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my most favorite memory of Fripp Island was playing with the children on the beach when they were little, and we would build sandcastles and
We'd bury your feet.
you bury our feet and do things like that. I've got a picture of them. I think it was Grayson and Ella with my feet. They had buried my feet, so it just shows me like from the knees down. That was so much fun.
And the one evening we got here and we were out there and Grammy goes, "What is that in the surf?" And it was a sea turtle coming up. Remember that? And turned around and went back out. And the next day, right out here where we were staying, we could see the tracks. You could see they had already marked the nest. It was really cool.
Yeah.
I know my favorite one. I love you guys. It was like 2 summers ago. All of us were here. It was like one of the last times that we were all here, and it was after dinner or before dinner. It was just like so serene out. The tide was out. We had all this space, and someone brought a frisbee, and we were out there for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I remember
throwing a
that.
frisbee.
Cool.
That was so much fun. I remember Grammy and Pop were out there, and we were all just hanging out and throwing
It's like a
frisbee.
huge frisbee.
Yeah,
we were
it was
just
like one of
chucking
those giant ones, and we were all out there playing frisbee.
I remember.
Big
Do y'all
cell
remember when we
phones.
took
Yeah.
pictures? I don't. I just
Yeah,
have that memory.
Parker came.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Allie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Allie
we
came.
got
That was
Allie
fun,
and,
too.
and Parker here. Well, Allie took the pictures.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you're
I've
We
got
can do that
that
again.
on my wallpaper, and I've had it my 7 grandchildren.
So we're gonna have all this. You're gonna edit all this, and you're gonna have Rodney by himself somewhere. talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
We'll
that's
just
so
cut to
sad.
Rodney.
Also,
Photoshop
Ken Rodney will be
his
sitting like on a
face
stool.
To be like all of this dead space.
It'll cut back from like the ghost crime and be like, yeah, so that never happened.
It'll be September. He'll be sitting on the deck. No.
We're gonna put Rodney right.
Remember that picture of Rodney when he when Allie was here and took the pictures and Rodney
Yes.
It was so funny.
He's got like his knees up in the air.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, and
Just
so
like-
his like shirts up, so some of his belly. He's like,
I remember that.
That's awesome.
I was gonna say, do you guys remember at the Shell House when we just ran down and all those baby turtles had hatched?
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that.
That was really
Watch them
cool.
going in. Yeah.
I wrote
Everybody
a
was
comic
lined
book
up.
about that in first grade.
But no, he's
About like it was like favorite memory ever, and it was that. It was like Miller being like, "Turtles!" And we were all running, and RT was like helping them down.
Yeah. Do you remember whenever Dad had to chase a tent down half a Fripp?
That's scary.
It got blown up.
It's picked
We
up
were,
and
we
started
were at the
tumbling.
Good House, and I had gone down to see the Sticklers on the beach, and I could see a storm's coming, and I come back, and all of a sudden I can see Lacey chasing that tent, tumbling. I was running
I
towards
think that was
her.
the year that Vera was over there screaming bloody murder at the fact that the tent was blowing away. Having like a panic attack.
Everyone's like,
It was
"Thanks,
happening.
It crashed. I mean, it was gone. It smashed on the rocks and everything.
Who? I don't remember that.
Vera, what's
That's
your
before we
favorite
knew we
memory?
could stake it and put rocks on it. It was just like sitting there and
I've gotten so much smarter. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Vera's
We,
up.
we were talking about that today, though.
You
Like,
have something.
come on, Vera.
I don't know.
Just
I
say that.
remember there was one summer where it was raining so much, and we were at the general store, and I think Mango's, and I was standing up in the front, and I was trying to put up the
The little clips? Like,
yeah, the clips, but
yeah.
I couldn't put it on, and then someone started backing up, and I almost fell over.
I would guess that
Probably wasn't
someone-
me.
I was gonna say that someone was probably Ella.
Pat.
Can't think of anything else.
The hammerhead.
48 years
Tell
of
me
favorites,
about,
right?
Boogie Board with Miller.
Hey, there you go.
There you go.
I used the boogie board, and it was so bad every time I'd get on the boogie board, I'd be about halfway to the shore, and I'd look up, and Miller would just go flying by me like that.
Shot out of a rocket.
Yeah, and I'd try to get her to show me what to do, and she did it. She helped me, but basic problem was I weighed 175 pounds, and she weighed about 50 pounds.
And Pat came back the next year with a nice
This year, I came
They
back.
did,
He came back with the best boogie board I've ever seen.
How
And I had
about
the one with
invested?
like the dolphin jumping out of the water and that was like broken in
Like one of
half.
the styrofoam ones.
And you're still beating.
Yeah. She's a world champion boogie board.
There you go.
I bet all the kids can remember Dad having us, kind of teaching us the boogie board, like holding
You
us,
sit
and
on it, yeah,
pushing
you're
us
like,
with the
And
wheel.
back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Wave comes.
Yeah.
I did that with back in the
Yeah,
day,
you did.
too.
Yeah.
But I remember doing that with y'all, and I would stand there, and I stepped on that shell, cut my toe, cut
Oh,
my
I
left
remember
big
that.
toe bad, like bleeding like crazy.
I
don't know if
also-
y'all remember that.
I remember the first year, just vaguely, but I remember the first year that we like finally started getting in the water and wanting to do it. We body surfed the whole time, and we saw like we were just like having fun, but then we saw somebody like beside us that had boogie boards, and we went back home and we were like, we need those. And the next year we came and it was
It's the same thing
Much
happened.
better.
That's the same thing
Oh,
happened
it
with the
was
net.
awesome.
Same thing happened with the casting.
And
net.
the tent, you were just talking about it?
Mhm.
We didn't have a tent till the Gorgos
we
came.
talked about
I
that
know.
today.
Yeah.
That
What
was
would we
crazy
do?
that we
Would we just sit out there?
just sit in the dead sun. That's crazy.
Burn up.
Y'all were go out
We
there
were
and come
literally
in and take a nap.
Yeah.
I do remember being out there with RT and all of y'all, and he and I would stand out there while y'all were boogie
For
boarding.
hours.
And we looked back towards the beach, and a shark was going between us and the.
I remember that.
Y'all remember that?
Oh yeah.
And I remember looking at RT going,
No.
"Why aren't we like running?"
well, what had happened before that is you guys were boogie boarding and Madeline came in and was like, guys, there's a shark, there's a shark. And everyone was like, shut up, Madeline. And then she goes right back out there and she literally was like, I was on the boogie board and it went right by me. And then I think she was boogie boarding and you guys saw it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean,
But nobody
I was
believed
like,
her.
It's the only
Everyone
time
was
in my
like,
life I've been in
okay,
the
sure.
water and the shark goes by, and I'm like,
That happened to us multiple years in
Well,
a row.
but that
They,
was
no, yeah, they were like out there for a while.
Like for
back
5
then.
years straight,
they
we saw
weren't
a shark
big, but
every
they would
single
come
time
up
we
with
were
a
here.
dorsal fin. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But that was also when like that whole valley
It
of
was.
Yeah.
water. So whenever the tide came in,
It was
we'd
like
be
a
standing
little
on the
channel.
sandbar
Yeah.
in between the two.
That's
Yeah.
where they were feeding.
Yeah.
That's where she caught that stingray. You
It's
talked
also
about
crazy.
earlier.
None of us have ever gotten like barbed by a stingray or
Or
like
bit by a shark.
bit by a shark
Uh,
or like
Anybody got
stung by a jellyfish.
Did anybody get stung by a jellyfish?
Not here.
I think BB did a long time ago.
What?
Here? You got stung by a jellyfish?
Long
Oh
time
yeah,
ago here.
I got stung by a jellyfish. A
Did
sea
Dad have to pee on
dandelion,
it?
And a stingray.
You've gotten a stingray too?
Oh yeah, I remember sitting on trips
take back
before
everything
there
you
was
just said.
boogie boards. There's inflatable like rectangular
Awful.
floats
Like
raft. And so unfortunately my parents did a very fun job of taking me out there. I would ride it back in. They had to take me back out there and I'd ride it back in. And so I would sit there on it with my feet, dangling in the water. I remember feeling that felt like a cat tail with no fur. And it just went shoo, and all of a sudden it hurt like shit. And then that happened, and then one time I felt like a little like clamp thing wrap around my ankle, and then that started stinging. And that was sea dandelion. A lot of people were like had been hit by them too.
Wow.
What was
I
it?
never got
Sea
hit. by
dandelion?
Dandelion.
What is that?
Not just like a sea urchin. That's what it sounds
Wow, so you got hit a couple times.
And then a jellyfish. I don't remember that one, but yeah.
I've heard
Jellyfish once.
stingray pain is like one of the worst.
Yeah, but you know what's supposed to fix it?
Pee.
That's what I was gonna
That's
say.
a lie. That's a big lie. You're not supposed to do that.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that too,
I've
dear.
been proven incorrect.
Wow.
Wow.
Ooh, so who
That's
came up with
too
that? They were
bad.
like, let me just
Yeah.
pee on you, that'll make
Pee
it
on
better.
them.
And it just isn't.
Yeah.
Somebody
And they
didn't
just
like that
spread it?
person. Hey, I'll pee on you to be better.
Yeah, I swear it's
Oh, I
true.
hate this guy.
Whoa.
And then they just
Seriously.
spread it on every. You know how many people have probably
Okay.
gotten peed on?
I'm a ton. I would have peed on something,
You know,
my kids
Soft
hurts.
you know, I bet in a weird placebo way it kind of works.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I
Totally
think?
is.
I think that's a good way to
You're
stop
selling
It
it.
is.
Yeah.
This conversation is
Yeah.
degrading.
We have to hear Kennedy and Miriam's favorite.
Yeah.
Oh
favorite
yeah, from
memories.
this year.
Just from this year.
Well,
Well,
Kennedy's
Kennedy's
got
been
two.
here.
Everybody
I
has
don't know
them
about
too.
y'all, but like I was here in 2020.
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I've just had a great time hanging out with y'all and spend time with everybody and running and swimming and playing on the beach.
Alright, go ahead, Mary.
I like going down there and we get to running and swimming and playing on the beach. It's like, everybody's like, what are y'all doing? I'm like, we're running and swimming and playing because we run with the football and we've been swimming and playing with the ball in the water and the football.
The
We've been-
waboba.
and we've been running around
Can I
and we
make
were
it?
tackling each other in the water.
Alright, Mir, your turn. Wrap it up.
I think it's so fun to be around grandparents again, just because I haven't had that in a long time.
Thank
So
you.
it's really special to be here with people who have such a legacy.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we
All
love Fripp.
That's
Yay!
it.
Thank you, Grayson and Miriam, for setting this up.
No problem.
Oh, it was not me.
Print that thing.
Huh?
Sat here.
It's not true. You helped me test it.
Is it still on?
Yep, it's still on. But
You don't know about
Not.
If I was some of y'all younger people, I wouldn't have told some of that because there's a joke about